Hello. Hi, Maria. How are you?
Morning, Barrett. How are you?
Good
You're out last
morning.
week.
I know. I'm doing better. Way all 100% better. Thank you for asking.
I was
Yep.
so glad to hear that you're okay. I wasn't able to attend Wednesday's meeting because I forgot. I
Oh,
didn't get the
okay.
notification. So I forgot that I was
Oh
supposed to meet.
no. Okay. Yeah, no worries. I'm glad you're here now. That was just a backup. Yeah, that was just a backup session. Yeah, how was your everything last week? Well, wait on your update. Don't tell me your update. How's the weather? How's the weather where you live?
Oh, I think you've heard from the news that we're having
There's
like
a typhoon?
three typhoons actually. And it's already flooded
No.
here. Yeah, we're kind of already used to it. Like it happens every year, so not a big deal for us. But everywhere's flooded, and I can't go out to buy, groceries right now. So I'm stuck here with whatever I have.
Oh. Oh my gosh, that is annoying. Oh.
It is.
Also like very hey Matthew, very like like disorienting kind of not to have an idea about the when the weather is going to clear up.
I was so glad that I'm working from home.
Get
This is
on
such a
about it,
blessing for
right?
me because I don't
But
have to
yeah,
go
I just
out and,
yeah,
work
I hear
on
you.
site or in the
Exactly.
office. So I can still work whatever happens as long as there's internet and electricity. I just
Yes.
wish that the power doesn't go out.
I know. I hope not too. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Well, stay safe. I hope it's over quickly, but the weather is insane. Like it's just so unpredictable all over the
I
globe.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, Matthew, we're talking about a typhoon, that Maria's experiencing a typhoon at the moment. Yeah. Yeah. Nuts. Yeah, sorry I missed you last week. Matthew, I was saying to Maria, I was just so sick. I don't know what happened, but I was not well. So, did you get to pop into the Wednesday group or did you not?
Yeah, there was too much going on, so I didn't get a chance. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here
that's
now,
okay.
and I'm glad you're better.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, wait, let me see since we were talking about weather, we already asked this question. Hmm, no, I will not ask a question about weather. I'm thinking of what's the crazy, no, I will. Do you have a crazy weather story, Matthew? Like from a blizzard or anything else extreme?
I mean, there was a pretty bad, like, there were like a couple, I don't know if they were tropical storms or like tornadoes, in the past couple, in like the past month or so. I mean, one of them I had to drive through. I don't remember what. Oh, right, that was on Juneteenth. And so
Oh,
it was like a whole thing. Like I was supposed to go to dinner with my friend and his brother, and then like the storm came through and I had to drive through flooding and there was down trees and I was almost out of gas and I had to go to the gas station, but the gas station lost power and they were booting back up, so I had to wait an hour to get gas because I was basically out, and then we had to change the location like three times and it was a mess. I
no.
was it was not my best day.
Oh my
Probably.
gosh. Wow, that is but you made it through. That is so
I
scary, but you
did.
made it out.
Yeah. I survived. I survived, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
That
there was another tornado, but I just waited that one out because I didn't have anywhere to be. And so that was fine. But now it's just been too hot. So
Okay. Yeah, now it's like extremely hot in Pennsylvania. But the thing is, the fact that you're mentioning tornadoes and you live in Pennsylvania is really odd. Like, yeah, that's not a thing that typically happens in Pennsylvania.
yeah, there were two tornado warnings in like the past month or 2 months. But what like like in my entire, I lived here my entire life. We had one tornado in an entire time, and now there has been two in the past month. So
It's
that
crazy. This is getting crazy. It really is. Yeah.
horrific.
And I know there's just, I feel like there's extreme weather all over the world right now. Yeah.
There is,
With the
yeah.
typhoons and yeah, and the flood in Texas. I don't, it was in San Antonio, but there was this horrible, horrible flood in Texas. So it wasn't Aisha who comes to the Tuesday group. You know Aisha. She is not near the San Antonio. She's in Houston. But I have another client that is in San Antonio. It's just like, it was just like devastating. It was wild, the different flooding situations. And I had a tornado go through, well, I live in the Midwest, which is more normal. It's not okay. But there was a tornado that came through St. Louis that was really bad, that made national news. And so I'm just surprised about the Pennsylvania side of things. Wow. Okay. Crazy. Well, let's go around and do updates, like, cause especially because I haven't seen all of y'all in 2 weeks. Um, Maria, do you want to start with your updates? How have
Yep.
things been going at the Mental Wellness Center?
Everything's good. We've recently seen an increase in children joining our wait lists. I think because many families are hoping to begin therapy during the summer. And while we're doing our best to accommodate these requests, we also want to be mindful of their ability to continue once school resumes in September. So I'm helping with planning. We're giving our clinicians a heads up that some of these clients may need after school appointments. And at the same time, we're also setting clear expectations with the families, especially since many afternoon slots are already full. So they would understand that they may not be available as the school year begins. Just so they could figure
Okay.
out their availability once school starts in September.
Got it. Got it. So you're anticipating a lot of inquiries for kids for the school year, or you already do have a lot?
We already do have a lot, and I was so
Okay.
glad that we have clinicians that have availability for now
Mm.
because it's
Hmm.
summer and kids are able to attend therapy during the day, but once they start school in September, I think they may need or they will need after school appointments, which probably be 4 p.m. or after.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to switch existing clients to later spots?
Yes, so the clinicians have to anticipate that one as well and make sure that they have enough spots in September to accommodate those clients who need after school appointments.
Okay. Have you done an analysis, or has someone on your team, like Danny, done analysis of if those clinicians are booked in the evenings, like if they can move the kids to after 4?
Yeah, we're working with our clinical director to talk to the clinicians about it, so they can, work on their schedules and open additional spots in the afternoon in September, just so we could,
Yeah.
these kids could continue therapy even if they're already at school.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm curious if it's an ongoing, since it's an ongoing client, like an ongoing kid, who has
Mhm.
that conversation with the parent about switching? I mean, obviously the parent's gonna contact the you or the therapist, and the parent's gonna say, I want my kid to come later. But who do they have that conversation with, you or the ongoing therapist?
It's the ongoing therapist. Usually they would
Oh,
discuss
okay.
their availability during the intake, so the therapist would know if they have to switch schedules after the intake. I encourage them to discuss that one immediately with the therapist after the or during the intake, just so they would know if they have or so the therapist could figure out scheduling ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that makes total sense. Yeah. Okay. What else? What other updates do you have?
We're no longer getting inquiries from couples, so I guess the kids has have more needs now, and yeah, that's I think that's all we have for this week or the past week.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And how about the switch to Admira? Have you guys been working on getting up to speed on that?
Yep, Danny, I think had her training yesterday, and we're having a meeting this Monday with the management team to discuss Admira. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything comes up, we'll definitely list them down and let you know, because I know that the questions would probably come from me, Danny, and as well as the clinical director who is assigning the clients.
Okay, yeah. We need to, yeah, I'm thinking about that if there, I'm thinking about anything I can offer. It's a short timeline. It's a short timeline. So I was thinking, how I was thinking about maybe discussing that on this call a little bit, for everyone to kind of get a little bit familiarized if necessary. But I didn't see Danny come to any of the orientation sessions we've been doing. So I was just wondering, has she trained you on Admira, or have you or what's like have you logged into the system and played around with it?
No, Danny has asked me and the other billing or the other team member, Belle from the billing team, to watch those videos. And
Mm-hmm.
she told me to list down any questions that we might have so we can discuss that one as a team on Monday when we have Jen and Jessica join us for the like the
Okay.
orientation.
Okay. So I think maybe I was thinking of maybe using this as a little workshop for like just fielding inquiries in Admira if it was relevant to the people on the call, and I see that it is. So we might end up just doing that to give you a first, like a little bit more of hands-on attention for the two practices on this call. Um, I just
Mhm.
wanted to know if she had trained you on that. Yeah, because everybody's losing access on the first, which is like 8 days from now. So I want to make sure that people have feel prepared. Yeah. Um, it's coming down the pipeline and it's related directly to intake. So I think it makes sense to talk about. Um, cool. Do you have any KPIs to share?
Yep. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Could you guys see my
Yeah.
screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, hold on. I lost it. Where is that? Oh,
No, I
there.
can see your screen.
Okay, so
Okay.
for this month we have 27 new opportunities. 6 are from the wait list. 11 intakes booked. We have one who has completed the intake. The reason for this was because we're scheduling far out. We're scheduling ahead,
Okay.
so we
Yeah.
just have one person who has completed the intake for this month, and 6 were lost. As usual, these are people who were out of network with us. We are getting an increase in people who are inquiring that has Medicaid insurance, which we're out of network with. And we
Oh,
have 8
okay.
people added on the wait list. 8 are booked. We have one completed or intake complete from waitlist, and we have 8 people converted clients.
Cool.
Let me
From the wait
see.
list.
Mhm. Yep,
That's great. Okay, that's great. Um, yeah, and so it makes sense that you're saying that the intake's complete. You're actually booking pretty far out, so that's why the people who have booked, like the 11 who have booked, there's only been one that was complete.
yep.
Okay. Okay, got it. I just had a hold, so thank you for sharing that. Do you have any questions for me or any places you're stuck on this or anything else?
Nothing for now, but since we're switching to Admira, I'll probably have a million questions after we do.
Yeah, I was thinking we should do a little workshop on that today. just a little bit. Okay, cool. And it's interesting because Stacy, I think you were on the call, the metrics call last week, the insights and analytics. Okay, so when I see this of like, intakes complete, I remember we had a discussion on the leadership call about metrics last Thursday about whether practice owners care more how many were converted in a week, like how many were booked, or out of everyone who inquired this month, did they get converted? Did they get booked? So it's just a slight difference. Like, is it just like, I want to know how many were converted this month? Doesn't matter if they inquired yesterday or they inquired 3 months ago, just how many converted this month. And I just had a talk with Admira's development team this morning about the different like the analytics they're going to offer and how they're going to shape them to match our KPI dashboard. Um, but yeah, you'll be able to track the same thing there. It's going to be a little different. So the reason I bring that up is that this sheet corresponds to the numbers on the Practice Access dashboard. And so those will be named different things on the Admira dashboard. So we might have to modify, I'll have to do some translating for you of where you find the client care mastermind numbers. But more importantly, how you use the system to field incoming clients is really, really, really important. So I was thinking that I was gonna bring like a bunch of scenarios to do a little role play back and forth. And I didn't have all my scenarios prepped, so I was thinking we're gonna do that next week because I have like this great list of like scenarios to kind of practice with y'all. And when I got to today, I was like, I don't have my whole list in front of me because we've been working on all this metric stuff. So I was thinking, let's do instead a little bit of a workshop on getting clients into Admira. And it'll just put you a step ahead because everyone in this group is under that timeline right now. Um, so does that sound okay to you? Does that sound good to Matthew and Stacy? Does that sound good as well? Actually, let let me know your updates and let me know how much familiarity you have with Admira. Um, Matthew, do you want to go first?
Well, I haven't had much opportunity to look over the Admira stuff because there's just been so much to do for the
Yeah,
most part. So like I've kind of like a lot of my days in the past week I've come in and been doing things like nonstop, like
I know.
doing intakes and emails and things of that nature. So I think uh, I've I've been doing well enough keeping up with that, but I haven't been able to look at all the Admira boot camp stuff. But I hope to find time to do it soon. I'll probably have to talk with Stacy more about it in the coming days. But yeah, that's that's
Yeah,
where
no pressure.
that's where I am.
So it would be interesting to have a little orientation to it today,
Yeah,
since we're
yeah,
here.
that's
Okay.
that would be helpful. Yeah.
Okay, good. Um, uh, and and Stacy, how much have you looked into it? Would it be good to have a bit of I know you've been on some of the orientation calls.
It would be good to do it. I've watched all the videos. I've watched at least one of the first orientation sessions. I'm scheduled to be in an orientation session this week. And I think that Matt expressed it pretty well, which is we've been so busy because it's just the two of us now,
Mm-hmm.
covering the hours, answering the phones, trying to move things through practice access, send emails, all this stuff that it's really been difficult for us to even try to get into Admira to play around or do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay,
mean, it does not seem so completely different. So I feel
right.
that adapting to it will um we're not going into it blind essentially when we do the changeover. And then there was the hush mail issue that you and Dr.
Yeah.
Wollenberg discussed that I went in and turned off all the things that you said to turn off, have to invite Matt to do the same thing. Um
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
go from there. So we're gonna be, right, because we have to do it through, because there's a personal
Yes.
login versus the practice information, and there is some confusion with that and whatnot. But I mean, everything in Amira that I've seen, watching the videos and everything else, it seems like the most complicated part is the back end of it, right? Which is being transferred from Practice Access into um Admira. I really like how the tags are used. No one ever really explained to me about tags. Although I've seen them in Practice Access, no one ever really explained them to me. And I like the being able to tag clinicians so that you can search, like if a clinician's been
Yeah.
assigned, or if they're, because we don't assign from the front desk clinicians, the practice owner does that. So sometimes when we are given the directive to find someone on the wait list for who specifically wants a particular clinician, I think that tagging in that way will make it a lot easier.
Yeah. Good, good, good. Yeah.
I'm really
And I
looking
will
forward
need
to
to,
that.
good. Okay. So that this, I will need to touch base with your team just about like the moment we import all the data. And so we'll do that separately to make sure that like at the moment we import all the data, your team is able to log in and ready to log in, like ready to field it. Yeah. So I'll coordinate separately with you because of the Hushmail thing. There was a delay in that.
Yeah,
Um,
that would be
yeah.
helpful.
Okay. Definitely. That's what I'm glad we're touching base now about it. And that's on my agenda to like follow up with every practice. So I think, yeah, we'll definitely do like a just as much as we can of like a workshop from the top on like you'll get your own private orientation, Matt and Maria, like because it rather than like the big group orientation, um, to get you started. And so, Matt, I am wondering, how was your week? How was the last 2 weeks? I know it's been too long to remember everything, but any notable moments or places you're stuck?
I like sort of, well, where do I begin? But I like mostly while it has been very hectic and there's like been a lot of not being able to keep up with everything, I think it's been better than I was fearing. That doesn't mean it
Okay.
hasn't been difficult, but I
Without
think
Aisha, you mean? Is that what you
like,
mean?
without everybody, only the
Everybody.
two of us.
Okay.
So,
Silly question.
but yeah, well, I mean, it was definitely easier having six people than it was with having two, but it has been there's been a couple of days where I, got caught up with everything and was like, you know what, I'm pretty proud of everything I was able to accomplish, and I'm pretty proud of the fact that I've still been able to give like that like I guess personalized attention to people that I was talking about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
um like yeah, like sort of I've still been trying to commit myself to like getting like somebody sends in like some kind of question, like they're not sure about starting services or something, they send in an email and I'm like, well, I have all the information that you need in here somewhere, and I can put it into words in a way that that seems to work. Like I mean, there's been several cases where people were like, "Oh, why do I have to provide my credit card before like am I gonna get charged?" And I'm like, don't worry, I got all the information. You're not going to get charged until you know how much you're going to be charged, if anything. So, yeah,
Right,
like
right.
like the way that I've thought to explain things like that, and also things about like the forums, like I said it before, like kind of like priming, be like, this is what you should expect. Um, and there, like I think I've gotten even better at doing that and explaining things to people concisely that since last time. So
Okay.
that I think
Okay.
like the interacting with client side has gotten better because as like I've largely been more of the like talking to clients more and more. Like there's not as much of a buffer because there's less people now. So like just like uh having to interact with clients more and more, I'm noticing more and more the normal things that come up and can prepare for it in the future. So I think that's been helpful. And like there's been more cases where like suddenly somebody calls, I answer, I help them, I resolve whatever they were asking for, and I'm able to jump back into what I was doing previously,
Oh, yeah, like that
much more
switching
fluidly.
gears.
Hmm.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Like that's definitely been much smoother. And I've been out of the office for 2 days, so I'll see if like any rust has developed, but I I I hope that will continue to be the case. That
Good
that's
updates.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
And you're noticing like what it is that's happening that's helping you. Are you noticing what it is that is allowing you to switch back and forth better?
I'm not entirely certain that I can put into words and identify it, but like I think it's
No, yeah.
just like the trial by fire, I guess that is just I become more used to it. Uh just there's like when somebody calls, I have more tools at my disposal to quickly identify what they're calling about and helping them. Like there's only so many types of calls, I guess. There's
Mm-hmm.
every now and then I expect that there will be something that I have no idea, right? But the amount of calls that can come through that I can't directly address in just one phone call is shrinking, right? So
Nice. Nice.
yeah.
That is so cool. Yeah.
Hmm.
It sounds
Yeah.
like in like as the team was shrinking, also you had to streamline a bit, like you had to do more things and kind of see maybe recognize more patterns in them.
Hmm.
Um,
Exactly. That's exactly it.
great, great. And Stacy, did you have anything else that you wanted to bring up from the last week or questions?
I would like to say that Matt's doing an outstanding job.
Yay, Matt! How do I do my wait? Yay!
Oh, you want
Here,
to
let
make
me
the stuff go
I
all over the
I can
screen?
show you. Here you go.
I know you. Oh, there. Oh, you did it, not me.
Yay, Matt.
Okay,
Matt has
awesome.
doing an excellent job. And when we talk about highlights, I want to say that one of the highlights is because it's just the two of us, I also think that knowing everything that's going on is helpful. And here's one of the ways that one of the tools that Matt uses to make that happen. When Matt closes at the end of the day, he sends me an email for when I come in the morning. Here are the things that happened tonight that that either you need to know about or we need to follow up on tomorrow, almost like even a to-do list. But then in the morning, I come in and look at it, do the things I can do, wait for Matt to come in to ask, or vice versa, wait for Matt to come in and if I need to ask him questions or get further information. And it's really a way I think that we are missing fewer things
Oh,
because we are
cool.
generally not here at the same time to close. And so every time Matt does that, it kind of supports how to move into things when the morning starts. And I think that is a huge positive that Matt's been doing that, and it's been very helpful for me.
Ooh, wow. Did they go? I'm making my reaction. Woo! Trying to press my
I
reaction.
see one thing,
Not
I don't see a lot of them.
Yeah,
Ah,
not quite. You're getting there though.
okay. All
It's the
right.
if
I'm
you
getting
click an
there.
effect that has a background on it, it's
Oh,
it does
oh,
it
it's
like
only
that.
those. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
There you
rocket
No,
go.
that's
You
ships.
yours.
did it.
I did
I'm so
rocket
proud of
ships,
you.
but it didn't show me the rocket ships. I saw your party hats, but I didn't see my own rocket ships.
I see my own
Fascinating.
party hats.
Oh my gosh. All right, whatever. But that sounds like all right, I'll take this away, this reaction. But in
But that's been really good.
seriousness.
Where we could maybe use some suggestions is I'm finding it challenging when you outreach a prospective client and you just don't get any response. right? So how many
Yeah.
times is it appropriate to call and leave messages? And at what frequency? Those are conversations that we've been having. We don't want to, a call every day seems overly pushy to me. Yet, if you want to get someone's attention, a call every day is certainly going to do that. Or are people just going to block you, stop taking your calls, stop listening? Because we call and we email. Um, there were some people that I did initial inquiries on that I was very excited about. And then by the time they went through the verification process, or if we knew what clinicians we wanted to see, and maybe they weren't the clinicians that were assigned that they requested, but maybe say there's a supervisory situation with them. So to really be able to promote the clinicians that are being supervised by the people that the client requested. I'm just not getting responses. And I send very polite, informative, here are good reasons to consider emails, but it's a it's frustrating when they don't respond.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And it's so one-sided, right? And every practice asks this question. Like every practice has this question. Um, and because it is the place where in the pipeline, in the sales pipeline, so to speak, it's the place where you're the most powerless, right? Like it's one-sided. So every practice comes up with a finite system. Like the best utopia scenario is you come up with, and I can give you my recommendations on the number of touches, but the every practice comes up with their number of touches and the contact method. So text, email, and call. How many and throughout what interval? Um, and and then just in the CRM tracks that full breadth of outreaches has been done. And like the truth is, it's not failure if they don't write back to you. First of all, they inquired. So that way, that's one thing about like feeling like you're bothering them too much, that it's not marketing if they submitted a form, right? But we know things happen. People have life changes. Even in a week, something drastic could change. Or, maybe you were the 17th practice they called, and the practice they wanted first called them back after 5 months. We can never control any of these things. Like, so the only thing we can do is like define a system and stay consistent with that system. Because it's like when it's literally being ghosted. So we can't take it personally. We can't call it failure. The only failure is not sticking to your system of responding. And then you must wish them well, send them good energy, and not, there's nothing you can do unless you get any feedback about like, oh, that was unclear on your website, or oh, I was calling and I have eating disorder and you don't serve eating disorder. But without any feedback, just stick to your outreaches. So how many outreaches also depends on how hungry the business is for the practice is for business. So like some have like a 200 wait list and 20 people behind them, and so they want to do one phone call and they're moving on because you have a thicker funnel. So based on how heavy your funnel is, that might determine if you reach out one time or 7 times. So just assuming like you want more clients, which a lot of practices do, um, it should be minimum 3, like never less than 3. I know Maureen Warback, who is a huge, the biggest influencer. She has the Practice Exchange. She's the biggest coach for practices of like these mental health group practices across the country. She does 7 outreaches. She uses Practice Access and they have 7 outreaches. And it's also a matter of capacity. So if you just want my recommendation, because those are like my big, broad statements, like my recommendation is like within 2 weeks, reach out 6 times,
Now, 6 times in each format or 6 times in total?
6 times in total. Yeah, I would say 6 times in total. So she does 7. Like I would tell you the range is like 5 to 8. Like reach out 5 to 8 times. I think 8 is kind of, but if you're doing a text and an email at the same time, that's one outreach.
Okay.
So that's not 2 outreaches, right? Like you could do text and email 3 times every 2 days. And then you could do first immediate phone call and one phone call at the end of those 2 weeks, up to you. But with Admira, you don't have to email us to like build your automations, and Practice Access used to have to charge for every additional automation. Like now you can play around with your intervals and you can go to town. Like you can put text and email and make it every 3 days, have that going for 2 months, see how it is, and then shorten it or widen it. So I would say like call immediately, text and email immediate, like have your immediate outreach. It could be call, text, and email, and then every 3 days, and then add a call at the middle and the end, or just at the end. I think at the end, because the first call, let the CRM do the email and text every 3 days, and then do the final call to see if you have the capacity to do that final call. Yeah.
So you're saying in the case of Admira, let Admira do the follow-ups,
Yeah.
and then we would do the phone calls. That's what
Mm-hmm.
you're saying. So that we
Yeah.
wouldn't have to then, okay, I get that. Interesting.
Yeah. Because what I hear is that people rarely pick up the phone, and that like if the client care coordinator is spending time, typically they're spending time emailing or texting anyway. So let Admira do the emailing and the texting. It could be the same follow-up, or it could be like you could spend time making them slightly different, each
Hmm.
each one of those, so it feels like you thought about it, and then call at the end, you know.
Right.
And language that people use, which I really like, is on the last email or call or text, whatever it is, the last outreach, language that I really like is we're closing out your request for now. Like, which means we are you won't hear from us anymore. And you'd be surprised how many, even if they ghost you the first six, like on that last one, they're like, oh, I am actually interested. So I like that. Like, it's not like we're closing your account because they don't have an account, and that wouldn't make sense in mental health. But closing out your request for now, like, is a nice way to give them the ultimatum. And also, it's not the ultimatum. In the negative side, it's like, oh, well, this is the deadline. In the positive side, you don't have to feel like you're bothering them too much, because you've now given in good faith, I won't bother you anymore. If this was a bother, that was our last attempt, and we wish you well.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Love that topic. So does it make sense to go to Admira now? Does that sound good for everyone? Okay. Great. I have, this is Admira. Um, Wait, I'm just gonna tell the team of CW this first. We have solved you logging in, so you should continue to log in with a personal Gmail. And this is important for Maria to know, even though she's logging in with her work email. The reason is that Maria, this CW has Hushmail, so they can't log in with Hushmail. But anyway, Maria and CW, you both should know that when you go here, you want to turn off all of these because you're logging in with your personal. So turn off all of these so that the email you log in with, which is a personal email, does not get any notifications from Admira. We can't do this overarchingly. We can't have the admin do it annoyingly, like the user has to do it. So that should be like something you do, like that should be step one for you, like even today, is just go turn off all your notifications for your personal. Now, Dr. Christina told me, I can't say her last name, Dr. W. Dr. W told me that you rely on some email notifications and you want email notifications going to the work inbox. And therefore, you just need to add the work emails here. Like your work email, just add new user work email. Even though you won't log in with that, we can still set up um, email alerts for the specific things you need to be alerted about. So that's what I don't, you can eat, I don't want to waste this call. I mean, take up everyone's time on this call asking what your specific alerts are, but just know that I can help you with them.
And that's
Yeah.
under admins and users.
Admins and users, yeah.
Got it.
Basically double the users. So have every double the users, like every user has a personal, every user has their work, and I will assist with setting up the alerts for work, even though you don't log in with work. Thank you for bearing with us. Okay. Um, so this, I think this is, yeah, I just wanted to show each of your accounts because um, when you log in, you will see the same milestones that you have in practice access with the addition of these two. So I should talk to you about those as an orientation today. So you'll see the same exact milestones and you will see um, all your journeys and contacts in the same milestones. So basically, it's like yesterday they were in practice access, then the night our Admira team does the data import, and then you wake up and you're not using practice access anymore. You come to work, you're using Admira, and all those journeys are here instead. So that's that's happening by July 31st. But if we need like I want to figure out the exact timeline with CW because we didn't pick a date yet. But Maria, I know your practice has picked a date, which I believe is next Monday.
Barrett, sorry.
Yeah.
Um, I was just curious. Can you give us an overview on how we match a therapist using
Yeah.
Admira?
Yes. Let me go. I'm gonna go to the demo account. Um, Also, if you want, Maria, I can just show you that this is your account and
Yep.
these are your milestones all set up. Um, yeah, so I'll show you in a second how to match. I also want to let you know, let me double check if you're in here, Maria. Yeah. Do you want me to resend the invite to you, Maria, or do you have it?
I still have it in my inbox.
Great. Okay. I also want to let you know that when right here, all the automations are here. So if you have an automation on hold, Maria, we put that same automation here. Only admin users can change these, but I believe you can view them to see what automations are set up. So it's so much easier, more transparent than practice access. So you know when you move a journey here, it's gonna send an alert to the billing team. So this is your account, Maria. So we've set that up. It's worth a once over. Like Danny, I'm gonna email her and Jen because they should do a once over and really make sure it's set up the way that there might be an insurance provider we missed or like an email template that is not quite right. So you want to make sure it's all set up. It's not, you can't go live until they've done a preview. Okay. So that's what I wanted to tell you. But I will email her. Um, so how you match a therapist. Yes. Let me do a demo account though. Let me do a practice access account. Okay. So, um, this is a very hectic demo account. If just very quickly, let's say you have someone on the phone, they're new, you have them on the phone. I need to go back up earlier to show you how you get them in here in the first place, but specifically scheduling the intake session, um, almost everything you need to do in Admira is over here under tools and helpers. So it's a good thing to keep in mind. Even send to EHR. So when you hook this up with your EHR, it will say import to EHR. That will be right here. So you match therapist here, Maria, match therapist, every time you're booking an intake session. And then it's going to show you a list of clinicians and whether they're accepting clients. So typically, you know which one you're going to match them to. You just click here, and this is where you find the intake session date and time. So this is where
Okay.
you would do this and then put 4 p.m. and match. It does have a matching feature where it's going to show you a percentage match to the therapist. But when you talk to someone on the phone, Maria, you already like haven't, you know which therapist you're matching them to, right?
Yeah,
Like you decide that on the phone.
I do, but the final decision goes to the clinical director, Jessica.
Okay.
So it's important for us to have the specialties of each clinician that we can put here in Admira, so that it's easier for her to choose which clinician would match depending on the
Yes.
specialty.
Yes. Cool. Okay. Yep. And is Danny the clinical director or is it someone else?
It's Jessica.
It's Jessica. Okay. I haven't met Jessica. So great. Um, s- so you can match, do you ever match someone and not book the intake session, Maria?
No, I
Okay.
always endorse or send the account or the client's summary of her intake paper or of the intake paperwork to our clinical director so she can review and match with a clinician that would best fit. So sometimes she would match according to the openings that we have. Um, it's usually it usually depends on her who she would match with.
Oh, so you don't you do you put the intake session date time
I
into
do.
practice access? But
Yeah,
you
I
wait
do.
until she's done the match.
Yeah,
This is a very important thing you brought up as far as like how Admira works. So, yeah, so basically, Jessica, are you saying does Jessica log into practice access or no?
she does, and she fills out the potential client or therapist match on the client's file, and
So
from
she
there
just
I will,
selects their name. Hmm.
yeah, I will choose whoever has openings and schedule that one with the client.
Okay, got it. So she can hit match therapist and then she can pick one or more.
Hmm.
She can pick a few. And then you could come in and add the date. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, but backing up. The way that people get into Admira, because I know the whole interface is different than Practice Access, even though like concept is the same. But let me grab a form. One of the ways is with a form on the website. So they just like Practice Access. Oh, I can just do this. There's this form that will be switched on your website from not the practice access form anymore to this form. And then it will be nestled into your website. So that's something to coordinate with the day you go live. So the client fills out this form. And then when they fill out this form, a new journey or inquiry, it's called inquiry, pops up right here in new. Even though this wait list is here, this column is just a reminder that you've got people on the wait list. There's a whole separate wait list section, but that's just if there's even one person on the wait list, it's going to pop up just to remind you they're there. So, like if someone comes to your website and fills out a form, I'm going to just make this here, blah 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 blah. They'll choose what the topics they want to discuss and then session types. There's a lot more to this, but I just want to show you how you get every type of inquiry into the system. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, that one too. Okay, great. So was that one for me? Yeah, it was my name. Okay. So that's how you know if you have a new inquiry from the website. Do most of your inquiries come from the website, Maria, Matthew?
Yeah, it
Is it?
depends. Sometimes comes through phone calls or a
Okay.
contact page, or sometimes through direct email or Psychology Today.
Good. I'm gonna go, then I retract my question. I'll go over all of those. So that's the website inquiry. Matthew, do they mostly come through phone for you? I don't know.
I'd say it's mostly phone, yeah.
Mm.
Um,
And in
so
practice access, do you fill out a phone form?
yes, yeah.
Okay. In Admira, you don't fill out a phone form, and and then do you also use the inquiry form sometimes or no?
I have a specific we have a specific like client care coordinator phone form that like we pull up. The
Yeah.
inquiry tracker seems to have less
Yeah.
fields on it. So
And do you ever use it?
I use it for like if a Psychology Today inquiry gives enough information to make one, I put the information in there, but if it doesn't, I just email the people and say, hey, here's a little bit about our process. If you want to call or go to our website,
Perfect.
we can get you started, that kind of thing.
Perfect. So since we have like 10 minutes, what I want to make sure, Maria and Matthew, what you know on this call is how you would field the Psychology Today inquiries, like voicemails, live phone calls, web inquiries, like all of those in Admira. That is like
Okay.
enough for today. So the easiest way, the most obvious way is the one I just showed, where if they fill out a form on the website, they're gonna pop up right here in new.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if they call, you actually do create new therapy intake, and all of the questions are here from the form. Do you know how in Practice Access there's like form questions and then you get to the journey and there's different journey fields and then you have to
Mm-hmm.
go to this other place to see the form?
Mm-hmm.
Like that has always been a big pain point for our clients, but it's been really helpful for our reports. But in Admira's system, the important thing to know is the journey and the form are the exact same profile fields. So
Right.
all the fields from the form are on the profile of the journey, which in Admira is called inquiry. So Maria, I don't know if you know this, but there aren't like inquiries and journeys anymore. It's just everything's an inquiry and everything's in the intake pathway. Um, so uh, it's not bad to manually create an inquiry. In fact, it's a good thing. You don't have to use the phone form anymore. You don't have to use the inquiry tracker anymore. So the phone form, it has all those required fields, right? So you can't even fill it out if you just have a quick little psychology today, really. But in Admira, that all of that doesn't matter because you create the new inquiry right here. So when you create the inquiry, you can, if you're on the phone with them, you can ask them if they've been a client before, and you can search their name here to see if they've been a client before, because we're importing all of your clients. So that's a little search bar sometimes people miss. So, okay, Marge Simpson, she's been a client before. And what that does is it lets you know that she has a history with your practice, but it also fills in her name and email so you don't have to type it. And then right here, this is the only thing that's different from the form on the website and doing it manually is you choose the method. So if it was like you have a live phone call, you just say it's a phone call, and then you ask the client all the questions on the form, and just assign it to yourself. Does that make sense for incoming phone calls? Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Maria. So incoming phone calls, add it, fill out what you can. There's not a lot required on this, even though it's identical to the website form has a lot required. If you're just filling this out for a voicemail or a, some a quick inquiry that you got, you don't have to, everything is not required. And
Mm-hmm.
let's say it's a voicemail. If it's a voicemail, I think you should call them back. If they pick up, great, and then you fill out this form, right? But if it's voicemail and you call them back and they don't pick up, but you still want to track it as you should track it, you can put phone call, you can put the info that you do have um, on the person, and you can put a fake email. And then in Practice Access, it's really hard to go back and edit a form after you've submitted it. But here we put it in, and now let's say this Marge Simpson was a voicemail, and now they call back with all their information, then you can just easily pop that info in. That's why it's not bad to put a fake email, because you're going to keep following up with this person in the case of a voicemail. And then you do edit. And when you do get them live on the phone, now you can put their proper email. I hate my auto fill. Like now you know all my past addresses and current birthday. But you can then edit this before you hit save. So that's for if they come through the website or they come by phone or voicemail. If they come through an email, um, you can do this. You're gonna see all the emails of the connected. This is funny. I don't know which inbox is connected here, but you'll see all the emails of the connected. What is this? Lockset meaning mindset. Let me do a fake one. Okay. All the emails of the connected inbox. So you have a Hushmail inbox, and that's the one we connected. So that's why we want to connect the Hushmail inbox. We just can't get you logging in with it. But and then Maria, I think you have a Gmail or Microsoft inbox. Which one is it?
Gmail.
Okay. So Danny should have connected your Gmail inbox. So you'll see the inbox here. I know this is like gobbledygook, but if this was a psych today, you can just go right here and say create new intake and boom. And it creates the intake for you. So you don't need the inquiry tracker anymore. Um, you put the proper name and email, and you might find that like down in the body. Yeah, like right here. You'll find like their name and email here. You put it there and fill out the psychology today. But if it was just like a mom that's like, hey, are you taking new clients? If her name was like Jane Lopez, you would see the sender's name, Jane Lopez, and email, and you can just hit save and then track this. So now this inquiry will be in new. And I think that was, yes, mail delivery system. So, yes. Pop quiz. If you get a Psych Today inquiry email, how do you turn it into a new journey in Admira? Anybody know? If an email comes through Psychology Today, how do you get it into Admira? Nobody knows. Okay, do you want me to say it again? You find your emails here, and then you click, let's say this one was like Psychology Today inquiry. You click, oh, this one has been linked. You click add new intake, and it pops up over here in the new. And then pop quiz. If they call you on the phone and you have them live on the phone, how do you get them into Admira?
Don't you click the add new therapy intake?
Yeah, right there. Add new therapy intake. Yep. So you don't need a phone form. Yep. And then if they come through the website because they fill out the form, where do you find them in Admira?
Wouldn't they be in new?
Yeah, they'll be right here. They'll be right here. Yeah. And new is new. You don't have new in practice access. New is like a request form complete. So new is they have not been touched. It doesn't matter how they got there, you just haven't done anything with them. We left this one for most of you because when you move this over, initial outreach, I'd say you call them once, you reach out, like to your question before about following up, Stacy. You have all these new, the assumption for all the whole team, and Maria, I know it's you and the clinical director and Danny in here. So the assumption for the whole team is if someone's in here, no action has been taken. They're just a backlog, basically. They're waiting. So when you do make that first phone call or email to reach out, you move them over and then some bubbles pop up. So now you can say, okay, I've called them once. And now here you can have a series of emails going out. So this is where you would put text, email, call across 2 weeks. Um, we didn't have that in practice access, so we didn't transfer that here. Whatever you had in practice access, we transferred here. So that's something any admin can do on your own.
Barb, may I ask a question
Yeah.
about the initial outreach tab? If we were to
Yeah.
set it up so that we made contact in new, we moved it to initial outreach, and we want an email to go out from there, and that email then, can you attach forms to that email?
Ooh, good question. Can you attach, you mean like in an attachment to the email? You can
Can the
link them in
email,
there.
can the email that is sent automatically, can we set it up so that email has forms attached to it? In other words, it's not just
Let me check.
dialogue, it's here are the
Yeah,
5
let me
forms
check.
we need you to fill out. So that the
You
email actually
can't make an
contains the forms.
attachment,
Okay,
but you can put a hyperlink. Would that be helpful to you if you could make an attachment?
I can look into it.
I mean, would you want that if you could make an attachment?
Um, What
Like
do you
if it,
think, Matt? I don't know if that's a thing, well, right, because
I was muted. I don't think it's gonna be compatible specifically is my concern because like it's not like just like an attachment to the email. It's like a specific integrated Hushmail thing with the forms, and then they log on to Hushmail and fill out the forms. So yeah, I don't think that's
whatever, okay, whatever, oh, and I know we're out of time, but whatever in email initially goes out right now in Practice Access, does it have a form link in it? Does it have, okay, so
no, we
okay,
do that
yeah,
manually.
all right. Because yes, in here, I don't know if it's a PDF attachment or if it's something you can link to, but in here, when you send an email, you can attach something like a
Yeah.
PDF or something can be attached.
But I expect that that's just gonna add like just an attachment. It's not going to be how Hushmail does it with the integrated, like they log on to into
Mm.
Hushmail and then the forms are there and they submit it there. Like it would if we had a thing where they print it out, sign it, scan it, and send it back, then that would be fine. But it's that's not how we yeah we have to what is it? Apply the forms manually because and I think like probably it's best that we continue to do that because I'm I don't know how much like level of automation could be set up, but like we do have to send different sets of forms depending on if they're an adult or a child. So I think that that does
Yeah.
require some human oversight. So
Yeah.
that's
What
yeah.
Practice Access does is, I mean, most of our practices will send the suite of forms through their EHR. Well, all of the practices will send the suite of forms through the
Okay.
EHR, but it sounds like you're sending them through Hushmail. Got
Yes.
it. Okay. And unless you can link to that in an email, like that's the best this can do would be to hyperlink to something
right. I
or
was just
manually
trying to
attach.
conceptualize what
Yeah.
it could possibly do.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, well, but that is the overview of the very top of the funnel for how people get into Admira. I want to leave you with this link. I'm trying to get this. Nope, wrong link. Wrong link. I want everyone to have this link. Where's Admira videos? Okay. So if you don't already have this, I just want to put it in the chat. So this is kind of going to answer a lot of questions about what does it look like in Practice Access versus what does it look like in Admira. Like everything I just showed you now is in the first or second video. So I will talk to both of your practices about a timeline, but that's at least a start of the top of the funnel. And it shouldn't be too crazy. The automation should match, but there are a couple differences you need to know and a couple things you need to connect, like your Gmail and your EHR and stuff like that. Boring. I know, so much more boring than stuff we usually talk about at Client Care Mastermind. But just this is a special week because we're coming towards the end of the month. Anything you want me to follow up with either of you on about that? Okay, we'll talk more about Client Care Mastermind stuff next week unless you bring Admira questions, but I think we should keep those on the orientation, which is Monday and Wednesday next week. Yeah, but I want to talk about not crazy, but unique and extreme client scenarios. That's what I want to talk about next week. Like think about like a really wacky, interesting, out of the box client conversation or scenario that you've had. That's what I want to talk about next week.
Thanks, Barrett.
Okay, absolutely. Have a good week, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Maria. Bye, Matt.